Sorry, Frank. It's not your kind of town anymore. Hi, folks. Rich Cole. Rich is talking. Yeah, Chicago is going to hell, and they just won't admit it out there.
A deadly Labor Day weekend in Chicago as President Trump continues to set his eye on the city, threatening to send in the National Guard as early as this week. At least 52 people have been shot in Chicago over the Labor Day weekend. 7 of those victims died.
The violence included 3 mass shootings that happened at Haddon in California, in Chicago's Humboldt Park neighborhood, and 2 in Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood, 35th and State and 36th and Cottage.
And the governor of Illinois, Pritzker, is an idiot. Listen to this guy.
The president is begging me to call him to ask him to do something that we don't want. He wants me to call him and ask him to call in National Guard to the city of Chicago. We don't want it.
So he doesn't want any help, and he thinks doesn't do any good. He thinks their city is just fine. Listen to what Caroline Leavitt has to say about it.
We've been seeing the governor of Illinois parading out there saying that there's nothing wrong with Chicago. It's a great place to live. There's no crime there. He doesn't need President Trump's help. Well, I think the residents of Chicago beg to differ, and the statistics beg to differ. And I'll just share a few of those statistics with all of you. For 13 consecutive years, Chicago has had the most murders of any U.S. city. This is J.B. Pritzker's legacy, by the way. For 7 consecutive years, Chicago has had the highest murder rate among U.S. cities with more than 1 million people. In 2024, just last year, Chicago's murder rate per capita was 3 times higher than Los Angeles and nearly 5 times higher than New York City. That's more than double the murder rate in Islamabad and nearly 15 times more than Delhi. Out of Chicago's 147,899 reported crimes this year, that's how many crimes have been reported in Chicago since January 1st. There have only been arrests in 16% of them. These numbers are unacceptable. There have been more illegal guns recovered in Chicago than in New York City and Los Angeles combined. The number of reported motor vehicle thefts last year was more than double the number in 2021. And Chicago has also, just like DC, come under scrutiny over discrepancies in its homicide data reporting. So as bad as these numbers are, perhaps they are even worse. And this is Governor Pritzker's legacy. He should put politics aside. He should pick up the phone and call this president, who would be more than happy to do right by law-abiding American residents in the city of Chicago. And we hope
it's been proven that what Trump did in Washington, D.C. worked. The military came in. People are walking around now. Crime is down. As a matter of fact, watch this. This is the mayor of Washington, D.C., a Democrat, who first opposed what Trump was doing. Listen to what she has to say afterwards.
well.
The difference between this period, this 20-day period of this federal surge and last year represents a 87% reduction in carjackings in Washington, D.C. And we greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city.
Jessica, is the bottom line here, if the city is safer, people feel safer, that's a good thing for your city?
Oh, absolutely. And I think it becomes the model for other cities across the country that are dealing with carjackings, violent crime, kids that are on the streets when they should be in school. I mean, these are all the things that I think both the mayor of D.C. and Donald Trump want to fix. And the reality is, to my colleague's point here, this is the safest Washington, D.C. has ever been in August history, like ever. So this is something that, regardless of partisanship, we should all be excited about. We should be encouraged, and we should be looking to other mayors, specifically in those blue states that might be struggling with crime and safety and security, that this is the model.
Hell, forget the politicians. Listen to what the citizens have to say about it. These are the people that are suffering. These guys, these politicians just don't know what the hell's going on, or they don't care. I don't know what it is. But here, listen to these folks.
We played that montage of these Chicago residents. They want help, because who doesn't want safety? Listen here.
It's just gone from bad to worse to disaster.
No one really feels safe. It's impossible to feel safe in a city like this, especially with the leadership we have.
These kids are carrying guns like around the ages of 8 years old, and they're killing other 8-year-old kids with guns. It's insane.
My opinion, not enough police officers. The police officers' hands are tied.
So the police is really unappreciated for offhand under Brandon Johnson, Lori Lightfoot, J.B. Pritzker. Those are three are the reason why nobody want to be a police.
Their policies when it comes to crime is not working at all.
I think the biggest piece of the pie has to be more police officers, more protection. That's what the people want.
If you remember my last podcast, I showed Joe Scarborough of Morning Joe asking the mayor of Chicago 5 times, would police help, would extra police help? He never answered the question. He kept beating around the bush. That's what these Dems do. Anything Trump is bad. It doesn't matter how good it is, it's bad because it's Trump. And these people are just running themselves down. They latch on to the wrong thing. Now they're latching on to not preventing crime. They think that will help get them elected. Just ridiculous. Anyway, back to Joe Scarborough. He's back again, and here he is proposing something that's quite interesting. Listen to this.
But we had the mayor of Chicago on last week saying, oh, we don't need any more police officers. Police officers aren't the answer. No police officers. I think he said no 5 times. You look what's happening this weekend. You look so, I actually think that J.B. Pritzker should do something radical. I think he should pick up the phone, call the president, and say, and I know, you don't have the constitutional authority to deploy the National Guard here, and the police might. You can do that in D.C., you can't do that in Chicago. But let's partner up. So, as Walter Cronkite used to say years ago, well, folks, that's the way it is. That's the way it is in Chicago. The Democrats are more concerned about getting votes and winning and getting power back than they are about saving the citizens who live in their communities, saving their lives, saving their livelihoods. They just don't care. So that's all for now. I will be off next week. I'm going to Florida. I'm in the middle of a move, so I'll be down there permanently, down in the warm weather. I won't be facing this cold weather anymore. So that's all for now. Don't forget to subscribe. Take us out, Frank.
Sound.